David Jarvis offers the appetizer this time from his restaurant, Melange, outside of Chicago. It's pecan-breaded oysters with vanilla, cucumbers, and tomato. Then Reed Hearon does an entree at Lulu's in San Francisco. It's an open-fire roasted leg of lamb, served with a potato and artichoke gratin. Finally, pastry chef Minh Duong offers dessert from New Orleans. It's comprised of 3 flavored cheesecakes, chocolate, lime, and almond, all sugar-free. David Jarvis, along with a number of Chicago chefs, cut his teeth with Jean Boucher at Le Francais, north of the city. Later, he also worked with Wolfgang Puck in California. In 1986, he opened his own restaurant, Melange, in a northern suburb. From his American eatery, as he calls it, here are pecan-crusted oysters.
The first step is to mix a pecan meal, which is putting pecans and flour in a food processor in a ratio of 3:1. When you grind it in the food processor, you want it to come out like a meal where it's tacky to your hand and not too dry. This will be used to dredge the oysters. So it packs like that when it comes out of the machine. I took oysters, Long Island style, on the half shell. I'm going to use the shell to garnish the plate. The oysters you can place right onto the pecan meal. And we'll let those just sit there for a bit. Our next step will be to make the sauce and the cucumber and tomato that go in it. The tomato I took the liberty of blanching ahead to make it easier to peel. Do the same thing with the cucumber. The dice on the cucumber is not that critical, so it can be whatever form you want, very fine or very rough. It's just a texture. By blanching the tomato, it makes the peel come off very easy. Cut it in half the long way and squeeze the seeds out. And from here, like the cucumber, we dice very fine or rough, depending on what you prefer. I now take my pan and I'll add the cream and vanilla bean and some of the tomato and cucumber. Vanilla bean, split it. A little salt and pepper. And we put it on the stove and reduce that to a sauce consistency, and we'll finish it with butter. Meanwhile, in our other pan, using butter or oil, we make the pan hot, and now we coat the oysters with the pecan meal. And when the pan's hot, but not too hot, so to burn the flour and pecan mix, add the oysters. Once the oysters are in the pan, I see how the heat is responding. I can turn it up or down depending upon what's needed. Adding a little bit more oil or butter also, whether or not it needs it. And as I'm working the cream, I'll take the vanilla bean and press it into the cream to extract the seeds of the vanilla. While these are both cooking, I'll set up my plate using assorted sprouts. I'm using 3 different types. I make a little in the center like a salad and a couple little piles on the sides to put the shells. When it's like that, where it's almost sauce consistency, I'll add the butter, turn my heat down. At the same time, I'll check my oysters. You want the oysters to be golden brown. And then I leave it off the fire and let them finish on the one side. Taking my butter, using a spoon or a whisk, stir in the butter into the sauce or cream. Taste it. Needs more salt or pepper, add it. The oysters are ready now. We'll place a little bit of the sauce into each shell. Drizzle a little of the extra sauce around the plate. Take out the cooked bean and use it as a decoration, shall we call this, on the center. Put an oyster on top of each sauce. And Melange pecan oysters. A very simple first course, or expounded and made into a main course.
Hearon is a busy guy. He opened Lulu's in 1993, and it was an immediate hit in San Francisco. That same year, he launched his first cookbook, then opened a Mexican restaurant called Marimba's, then a second Lulu's, a bistro-like operation with an oyster bar. From the original Lulu's, here's his leg of lamb. A potato-artichoke gratin is simply the sliced vegetables tossed in heavy cream, seasoned with chopped garlic, salt, and pepper.
Some salt and some fresh ground black pepper. And these just get tossed together. And then kind of roughly layered in a gratin dish. This is very rustic sort of country food, so we're not being terribly obsessive about precise thicknesses on the vegetables. It's not necessary to cut these with a mandolin or a mechanical cutter. I think the slightly rough texture gives the dishes some charm. We'll take this and slide it in a 425-degree oven, or better yet, in your wood-burning pizza oven in your kitchen. And that'll bake for about an hour. Meanwhile, we take a whole leg of lamb, and we're going to leave most of the fat on the outside of the lamb. I'm going to cut a little bit off the face of it here. but the way we're going to roast it, most of the fat will melt away, and then any you don't wish to serve, you can slice off later. We're going to poke holes all over the side of the leg of lamb. And then we're going to take 3 very Provençal ingredients. Garlic, which we've sliced into thin slices, sprigs of rosemary, and anchovy. And before you wrinkle your nose up, anchovy is widely used as a seasoning in roast meats and chicken, and does not really add a fishy flavor at all. What we'll do is to take these little holes we've cut and kind of open them up with the finger and stuff a piece of anchovy, piece of garlic, and a sprig of rosemary down each of these holes. You can see there's studs of garlic and rosemary and anchovy all over both sides. We've rubbed it generously with salt and pepper. And if you're using your home oven, I would just put this on a rack straight in the oven and roast it with the fat side up. If you're using your wood-burning rotisserie in your home oven, in your home kitchen, take your skewers, and we will open a little hole next to the bone and skewer this whole leg, taking a clip to hold the meat at one end and force the joint of meat into this, tightening the clip down. Seriously, since no one has a rotisserie in their home, this actually can be wonderful done over a charcoal grill in the backyard if you work with a slow fire, just laying the leg of lamb directly on the fire. So as you see, now we have the leg of lamb is tightly secured on here with the rosemary, and we put it on the rotisserie. Put it on the rotisserie and let it turn in front of the fire. At Lulu, we serve the food family style, like you'd eat at home. We have for a large group of people, we might serve a whole gratin and a leg of lamb. But individually, all you need to do is scoop out some of the potato and artichoke gratin, which you can see is baked up to a nice kind of creamy, firm texture here. Make sure you serve plenty of the brown part on top. That's the best. And then we'll take the leg of lamb and just slice straight down in thin, even slices. And go ahead and leave the herb sprigs in. They add a nice kind of rustic touch to the dish. And we'll take a couple of slices of lamb.
The pastry chef at the Montleon Hotel in New Orleans' French Quarter is Minh Duong. In addition to the normal range of hotel activities, she is responsible for Le Café, the hotel's dining room. The menu offers a number of sugar-free desserts, which the chef offers here, featuring cheesecake. The chef begins by preparing the chocolate base for the 3 cheesecakes. It includes 12 ounces of melted butter.
And 3 tablespoons cocoa powder with a little bit water. Didn't get the spoon.
The cocoa water mixture is incorporated into the melted butter.
1 tablespoon vanilla. And 6 ounce wheat flour. And
8 whole eggs.
this 3 and 3 tablespoons equal sugar-free. This will make the bottom of the sugar-free cheesecake.
The 12-inch pie pans are lined with parchment paper. Bake for 8 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees.
We start with the cream cheese to make the sugar-free cheesecake. We have 3 pounds of cream cheese.
The filling base for the 3 cakes is identical, only the flavorings added later differ. In addition to the cream cheese, 1½ cups of the sugar substitute, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, and 10 ounces of sour cream will be added. The chocolate bases are out of the oven and cooling, and the chef prepares the 3 flavorings in different bowls.
In the first bowl I have almond extract. The second one I got lime juice.
And the third bowl is cocoa powder mixed with water. Some green food coloring is added to the lime juice. The cream cheese mixture is portioned into the 3 bowls, and using a whisk, the chef incorporates each flavor. The filling is smoothed, and the cakes will go into a 350-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Cool for 30 to 60 minutes after baking. After cooling, the cakes are inverted onto cardboard discs, and the parchment paper is removed. Garnish for presentation are fans of red and yellow apple. Dipping a knife in hot water, the chef plates 3 triangular wedges of cake per serving.